Hey, I know what you guys are expecting. Clarification on what the new rules are for what we can and cannot do. In all honesty, by the time I edit this, they're probably gonna change. Will that make you mad? Will it make you happy? I don't know. But I'm 100% certain of one thing, that there is no way possible that our government is doing this stuff just for the tourists. Here are the rules, along with some footage of kittens playing. And of course, as always, these rules apply to all Bahamian citizens and residents, unless you're filthy rich or politically connected. Since we last met, there have been many press conferences. It's a little difficult to keep track of all of them. And that's mostly because they're boring and clearly just a plot to overwhelm us with so much information that we cannot find the information that we actually want and need. But no need to worry, because I took notes. Not of the Aguilar Zone, because, clearly he is making it up as he goes along. Let's start with our favorite doll.
When asked if there is a difference between male and female, I responded that the virus is asexual. It likes both.
Well, that would make COVID bisexual or maybe pansexual. It depends on how it feels about non-binary people. But asexual means that COVID doesn't want to have sex with anyone. And as we know, since COVID, we've all been...
There may be a preference for for males.
The virus slightly prefers men? Well, I think I speak for the entire Bahamian male contingency when I say, yes, that's a 10-year-old reference. Now HBO will never pick up my web series, Black People Kill Fictional Personifications of White Supremacy, for one season, starring a strong black woman. Next was the man of the hour. Can we start with the fact that the leader of our country is having a press conference using the free headphones that come with your Samsung J7? If there was ever proof that we are in hard economic times. Anyway, the first question he was asked was clarification on who is the competent authority, to which he answered,
as Prime Minister, I'm chairman of Cabinet. We discuss matters, and there are some matters that I would appear as the voice of Cabinet. The competent authority is the voice of Cabinet.
That's a lot of words. What you're saying is the competent authority is the voice of Cabinet, but you're the voice of Cabinet. Then it means the competent authority is you. It's not like it says it on a copy of the Emergency Powers Act that you guys published in May, that competent authority means the Prime Minister. Honestly, I don't know why anyone would try to complicate something so straightforward, unless they wanted to distance themselves from the responsibilities of the position. Nah, the competent authority must be a group of people, like Parks and Recreation is Leslie Nope. Finance and Nuclear Power is Armonery Burns. Family Island Development and Paper Production is Michael Scott. Health and Population Control, Dr. Jack Kevorkian. Anyway, at that point, the reporter asked him a straightforward question.
In August, while speaking in the House of Assembly, you said, and I quote, "Our lives obviously will change, but we cannot lock down, open up, lock down, open up. That can't continue, and therefore we will have to determine the number and level we can live with." In your speech today, you noted that Bahamians should get used to the cycle of tightening and loosening restrictions. With our economy in peril, can you say what led to your change in your sentiment?
Authority of competence. Why does the August version of you contradict the October version? To which he responded,
I think you should listen very carefully to what you asked me. You spoke about lockdown. Lockdown and tightening are two different phenomena altogether. So you're talking about apples and grapes.
Yeah, because all us stupid. This time you're the one who have to keep on quarantining yourself because you keep exposing yourself to COVID. Whatever. No, it's us. We dumb. Then the Prime Minister is asked the question.
Is government considering free and or routine testing for those residents, especially here in New Providence, who would want to take a COVID-19 test but can't afford it?
To which he replied,
I know you've heard that statement coming from the leader of opposition. PLP lives in an Alice in Wonderland of fantasies. They must stop using politics and one day face realities. We would do whatever is necessary to ensure the safety and survival of our fellow citizens. Next question.
What does that even mean? Like, even if Philip at some point had said it, it doesn't mean that it's not a legitimate question. Plus, you didn't answer the question. You just said, let's not make it about politics, which effectively made it about politics. But you know what? It's fine. I'm sure that the many COVID tests and treatments that the House of Assembly and the Cabinet have had to take because of the slackness of the individuals in those bodies was paid out of pocket and not from the public treasury or the health insurance that the public pays for. Because you know, our leaders don't live in a delusional Alice in Wonderland fever-induced fantasy where we don't hold them to the same standards that they hold us to. What? Commercial break? Minutes got to go to Tom's Sushi and Steakhouse. We are the competent authority on steak. You need an emergency order of our blooming onion. Where is our heart and soul? On our surf and turf plates. Food so good, the government's probably gonna close us down. So come on down to Tom's Sushi and Steakhouse. MPs and cabinet ministers can only use curbside pickup. Hey Scott, glad you could take the call.
What's up? How can I help?
Yeah, so you know, during this time, a lot of people are home often, and so they're gonna be in their yard and they're gonna be encountering different animals. So I wanted to talk to somebody who could tell them what they should do when they encounter certain animals.
I think it's wonderful that people are spending more time outdoors and enjoying nature, but I want them to also remember that there are going to be animals out there that people are going to be a little uncomfortable about around. Wasps.
Okay, Scott, that's great, but I just want to know, like, specifically, if I encountered something like a snake, what should I do?
So if you see a snake and it is crawling in your yard, just leave it alone. It's not looking to bother you in any way or form. It's probably looking for either a food resource, someplace to hide.
You want me to leave them alone?
We shouldn't be adamant about destroying these animals because they all play integral roles in our ecosystem.
Scott,
and the more
Scott,
diverse...
listen, I get what you're saying, right? But what if, for instance, let's say she won't return my hoodie even though, you know, we've broken up for a while?
What?
On Instagram, I still see her wearing my jacket. Like, everything cool. Like, she ain't, like, you know, that's my jacket. She thief anyway, so.
A snake?
Yeah. You know my ex-girl, Cindy, dog? She's a real snake.
Uh-huh.
And we supposed to be on lockdown, but she going out with other people in my jacket.
Yeah.
So all I saying is, you know.
I'm gonna hang up now.
Hello? Scott. Back to the Minister of Tourism. What? So only the government can change their mind? I mean, like, we're making decisions based on the available information. October 31st, the Minister of Tourism announced a bunch of things. And while now we can go on the beach, by the end of that weekend, it was apparent that only tourists would have access to beaches through the hotel. So the minister, or as I like to call him, Dino, was asked, is this discriminatory? To which he responded,
certainly different. I mean, we're obviously having, well, not really.
Not really. Let's just slide past the fact that you're making a distinction between the treatment of different groups of people, and that is the literal definition of discriminate. What do you mean, not really? It was a yes or no question. That answer doesn't work for any other yes or no questions, Dino. Did you cheat on your wife with a puppet? Not really. Did you kill that man? Not really. Is there a gas leak in the building? Finally, I know that the government needs money for all the stuff that we want them to do, as well as the things that they're actually going to do. So the question then is, what is the best way for them to raise revenue? Well, I may have a solution. A dunk tank for MPs and members of cabinet. Stay with me. So a couple of years back, I used to work for a utility company that had subpar services and even worse executive and managerial teams. But the employees wanted to raise money for breast cancer awareness. They had a Dunk Your Boss Day. And for a couple of dollars, you could throw 4 balls at your manager and dunk them in a tank. And they raised over $1,000 towards the fight against breast cancer. Even I bought a ticket. I didn't use my throw that day. I've been saving them. Yeah, I know it's 2 years later, but when the time is right. Now, as horrible as some of those managers were, I still think they have a higher approval rating than some of these government officials. So imagine how much money you could raise. And so that's my idea for like short-term injection of funds into the economy on a fair basis. You could have a dunk tank or income tax, whichever one. Did I mention that we're filling the tank with like lime juice and goat pepper? Just. Why? Don't forget, now that our borders are open, that everyone needs to take as much precautions as possible, especially the persons working in the tourism industry. You guys are now the front line, and while some people, cabinet ministers, may think that you are expendable, you're not. You're our parents, our siblings, our friends. So remember to wash your hands constantly, wear a mask that covers your nose and your mouth when you are around people, and keep as much distance as possible from others. We love you, even if the government seems as though they're on the fence about the matter.